What's up, Couyons? Welcome back to another review. Today we're going to do Ironroot Harbinger 115 proof straight bourbon whiskey. So this is 32 months aged out of Texas and one hell of a bottle. Kind of hard to get sometimes, but really good. So they got a little story thing on the back. We are a family-owned whiskey distillery that employs French brandy techniques using local and heirloom corns to create distinctive whiskeys from scratch. Our philosophy is heavily influenced by the history of our own town, where the TV Munsons famously saved the French wine industry from phylloxera. Probably butchered that word. Using Texas iron grape roots forever linked cognac and Denison. Alright, here's the bottle close up if y'all didn't see it. Now, I pulled up on the phone earlier from the distillery. From them, this bottle runs about $70.35. Their notes say our flagship bourbon is non-chill filtered, overproof sipping bourbon. That is our first release, was herald of things to come at Ironroot. It encapsulates everything that is Ironroot. Their nose is maple syrup, orange marmalade, and a complex red fruits. Taste is red fruits and baking spice on the bed of dark fruits with medium rich finish that gets you back to the glass. Medium rich finish that gets you back in the glass. And grains. This is interesting. You have purple corn, bloody butcher corn, flint corn, non-GMO yellow dent corn, and rye, coming in at 115 proof. I don't know how well this is going to come up on the camera. I'll try and add these screenshots later. Now, this whiskey has also won all kinds of awards, so I'm not going to sit there and list them all out, but hopefully that comes up clear. If not, I'll try and add it to the video. Now, let's get a glass poured up here. Shooting this in between the Saints game right now that's going on. Got it paused. Got a good week of sports going on. LSU got a nice W yesterday. Alabama also took a L, so that's a plus. Always trying to root for our SEC teams, but, you know, Longhorns are going to be SEC next year, so I guess it's okay. It's always nice to see Alabama take an L, though. Today we got the Saints playing the Lions. Hopefully they finish up pretty strong. That's going on right now. And then we got Truex. Hopefully he does pretty good in the race later. But, alright, cue the intro, and we'll get right into the nose. Alright guys, welcome back. We're going to give this Ironroot Harbinger a shot. Alright. Now, nose, I get caramel. Let's see if my phone will let me back on here. They said that they got maple syrup, orange marmalade, and complex red fruits. I don't know about the maple. I don't really get maple too much on it. You definitely get the corn. It does have a fruitiness to it. I wouldn't say I would distinct it to any particular kind of fruit. I think the nose is very simple. It doesn't have a lot of alcohol burn in the nose. More or less just caramel and fruity. And probably some vanilla in there as well. Alright. Get that first little pre-sip in there. Definitely get the corns. Lots of different corn. Caramel, vanilla, leather. And then you get that distinct Texas funk. If you never had Texas whiskey, you might not know what I mean by that, but pretty much anybody that's had a Texas whiskey understands that Texas funk that it has, that distinct flavor that you get from a southern distilled whiskey, mainly Texas. A few Louisiana ones we have around here have it as well. So we have the Good Earth, has a similar note to it. Got a few other Texas whiskeys coming. Got this one from Balcones Mirador. I'll be doing a review on that pretty soon. Got another one up there, probably going to do a review on. We might actually talk about it here in a little bit. Something that really just is distinct about, say, this whiskey versus, say, this whiskey. I'm waiting on Randy to come, and I think we're going to review this one together. This Barrel Dovetail. And basically, it comes down to whiskeys with a bunch of notes versus whiskeys without a bunch of notes. And say like this whiskey right here doesn't really have a bunch of notes, but the notes it does have are very, very good. And this one has a ton of notes, but none of them are really distinct to me. And I don't really find it as enjoyable to drink. So we're going to let Randy come down and we're going to review it together. I think Randy's a little bit better at picking out a lot of the nuanced notes and stuff like that and see what he thinks. Because I'm not going to say it's my favorite right now. I'm giving it a little bit of time to open up or so on. But back to the Ironroot. I really like this whiskey. I think it's really, really good. If you could find a bottle, it's a definite pickup. Now, again, it's not overly abundant with notes and a lot of different flavors or this and that. The age on it is only 32 months. So it's not an old whiskey, but it's the flavors that it has and the notes that it has are really, really good. So back at it. That caramel, vanilla. You get a little bit of fruitiness too that's coming through. Kind of like a cherry. That pops out right there. There's a little bit of oak, but the oak is not very predominant in it. I find it's more of just an accent. And then you have that Texas funk that just kind of continues into it. But it's not overwhelming. A lot of these Texas whiskeys have a very, very overwhelming Texas note. Heck, even when I opened that Mirador for the first time again the other day, I've had it before in the past, but I opened this one, it's like, man, it was overbearing. It was, wow, harsh, hard to drink at first. Now it's opened up, it's got to sit a little bit, and it is much, much better. But that Texas funk that was coming off of it was just really insane, intense. This is very mellowed out version of it. It's very, very enjoyable, and at 115 proof, it is, I don't know, it's perfect. Perfect proofing. It gives you just that right alcohol burn. It lasts through it. It's really makes that Texas note stand out, but it's not overly harsh. It's not gonna make you want to grasp for air, you know. Very drinkable whiskey. I was introduced to this whiskey at Randy's dad's house. They was having a little party, and we were sitting around playing some Pedro, and he had this out and another bottle of, I forgot what else it was, but I poured a glass of this, and it was phenomenal. And me and Randy, I think, killed that whole bottle that night. We sitting around playing some Pedro. If y'all don't know what that is a, I won't say just a Cajun. It's more of a bayou game. Most places around here, that's not the bayou, don't seem to know anything about Pedro, but it's a down the bayou game. I'm sure other places, around South Louisiana know of it, but it's a bayou game that a bunch of us play. Card game. Now, Couyons score. What are we going to review this as? Like I said earlier, it doesn't have a bunch of notes, but it is really, really good for what it has. The flavors that it has stands out. It's a very, very drinkable whiskey. I like it a lot. Randy likes it a lot. Jonathan liked it a lot. As for drinkable Texas whiskeys, man, this has really got to be top of the line. So, score-wise, I'm going to have to give it an 8. I think it's just so enjoyable that it's definitely, I think, worth an 8. 7.5 to 8, it's definitely reasonable. Like I said, it all depends on how you like your whiskey. If you like a lot of those notes, even if they don't stand out, maybe this isn't for you. But if you like that one that just is brilliant, it stands out, it's not super complex, and you can drink the hell out of it, man, this is a good bottle. I highly recommend it. So I'm gonna say an 8. Now, that depends, I guess, on how much, or if, that's what you're looking for or not. If you're looking for those that have the, more flavors and so on, it might not be your cup of tea or not, but I like it. I like it a lot. But, so it's Ryan New with your Whiskey Couyons, and we'll catch y'all on the next video, man. See y'all later.